100+ messages a day. I'll just be like, and then what's crazy is I tried to, like, in the beginning, I tried to, do the right thing and respond to everybody, and then they respond, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's tough, man. But if you ever send me something, send it on Instagram. I check that like 3-4 times a day. That's like my little secret hiding place. So, man, I'm excited, guys. I have to be honest. Now I was telling Sean the other day, this is obviously my second Super Saturday. And so, they give you that, that 6-week window, 8-week window, and like, everybody gets excited, right? And it's like, I just see pictures of me all the time. And I'm thinking, it's this gap. It's this big gap with no activity. And so I just took it upon myself, but, like to do something in the gap. And that's where, with the Zoom call came in, and, by you guys being, the VIPs, I wanted to be a little extra special for you, in addition to the photo ops and the meet and greet, and just kind of do like a mastermind thing. And let me see if I can help you, with your coaching and just answer some questions, whatever I can do to help. That way, by the time I get there, hopefully everyone's mindset is in the right place. And then you can really get, like, the Super Saturday should be a celebration. You shouldn't come there to get ready. Like, we should be ready before the trainer get there. So it's like you celebrating this new mindset, celebrating this new, this new journey. Does that make sense to you guys? And so, yeah, let's, I'm not a guru. I just, speak what works for me. And, if it applies to you, please apply it. If it doesn't, then we have to find something. So we can open it up if you want. Anyone have any questions before I really start digging in? Let me see. That was quick. Let me see. What kind of words do you use for clients with sugar addiction, emotional eating? I'm really trying to overcome this for myself. Can't get over. Oh, thank you. So, the resources with the sugar addiction, this is gonna be funny. Like, I used to have a sugar addiction. I really did. It was like nobody could eat a pack of cookies like me. Like, I would just eat the whole pack. I was never that dude that, like, if I had Oreos, would eat 5 or 6 of them. I'm going to eat every Oreo in that whole bag because, that's how I used to mask stuff. Even when I was a kid, like, I was the kid that would eat like 2 or 3 boxes of Little Debbie's. And so, I think, the most important thing is the why. The why is the most amazing, eye-opening component of the whole thing. Why do you run to it? Does it make you feel better? And when I started realizing when I was younger, I would eat a pack of Twizzlers. Just sitting here. I could sit on here and talk to you guys and eat a pack of Twizzlers. Like, where did Twizzlers go? I just ate them all. But it all boils down to the why. Like, why are you running to that? And in most cases, like, it's a void, and it's a lack of love. And it's the lack of love is not towards anyone else. It's a lack of love for yourself. That's with any addiction. I believe that, like, when a person is really struggling with addiction, it's because they don't love themselves. Because, I mean, pretty sure we all have kids. If your kid was struggling with something, you wouldn't assist or aid that addiction. Like, you love them so much, you get them help. So I think, the best thing you can do with anything you're struggling with is, first and foremost, you got to love yourself. And when you love yourself, then you're going to put the right things in your body and you're going to take good care of yourself. So that's the best addiction. That's the best, answer to any addiction. Let me see. I have a question because I did rounds of Shift Shop. Assume leads. Oh man, I recommend, Cheryl. So how many of you guys have been in, like, the Downing University or 21 Days of Shifting? Anybody do that? So you see how that's, like, different. It's harder. That's what I really wanted Shift Shop to be. But I knew that if I would have came out the gate with my first program with that kind of intensity, I probably would have freaked everybody out. But for me, the whole training thing is, my mindset towards training is just a little different than just working out. You know, I bring adversity into to programs, you know, for you to unlock what's inside of you. So honestly, I think you should like go into Downing University, because it's still the shift shop, but I've added burnouts to everything. I added burnouts to speed 25, strength 25. Every workout has a burnout, and it's going to give you an extra push. I think it's harder than a hybrid calendar, but yeah, the Downing University is tough. Like but it's rewarding too, because there's a lot of good stuff with it. The book you recommended for us to read in your, yeah. Oh man, what other personal development books do I suggest? You know, someone asked me this question yesterday, and the answer, honestly, is by me having influence, and I'm such an emotional person. There's a periods of time where I'm in a real vulnerable state. Like, and the vulnerable state I'm in is when I'm really trying to go to the next level. I gotta kind of silence, things around me, other authors, other books. There's like a season where I'll read, and there's a season where I won't read. And now I'm in a season where I won't read, because the best personal development book that I can think of right now is the one I'm creating with my life. Because I'm going through things. You see what I'm saying? And I don't really think a person can really give me the advice that I need right now, and place something in my life. Going through a custody battle, trying to get my daughter, and trying to figure out ways to get Shift Shop more global. And this is a lot on my plate. So my personal development is in my meditation, and like locking my mind on what exactly I want to happen. What happened? Good? Uh-oh. Who's that? We good? So at this point, like, my personal development is me. It's in the meditation. I'm really focusing on being thankful for exactly what I want. I never ask for anything when I pray. I never ask for anything when I meditate. I just visualize myself already having it, and I just create that emotion that I already have it. And so that alone is so much work. Like, I really don't want to read other people's opinions. Not saying that it's wrong. It's just right now I need to really seek my soul and learn from myself. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me see here. What's the next question? Self-motivation. I'm recently diagnosed with arthritis. I'm so sore and fatigued at the time. I struggle normally to get workouts in now. Sometimes I have motivation. I find it. So about Megan, about struggling to find self-motivation. That's a good one, because it goes back to your why. Like, sometimes you guys, like, whenever you really want to be the best you can be, you got to be desperate. And being desperate isn't always a bad thing. Like you got to be desperate for change. And when you're desperate for change, and that all I have is this moment today, even if I don't want to do it. And I always tell people this: sometimes you got to crawl across the finish line. Nobody, not even myself, is going to run across the finish line every day. Sometimes you got to crawl across it. Sometimes you don't even get to it. You just reach out and slap it. I don't care how you get across the line, just get across it. And so it's in those moments is when you start developing, and you start getting stronger mentally and emotionally and physically. And so your why has to always be your final authority when you're in the struggle, when you don't feel like doing this or don't feel like sticking to a meal plan. You got to go back to the why. And that why has got to be personal. It's got to be one of those situations where you can't afford to not do the right thing. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. April, this is a good question. So she said, how'd you overcome rejection after your media release of your previous life, the charges, and was your biggest struggle? What was your biggest struggle having to brand yourself? What do you feel is your biggest success? Okay, I got to answer these in parts. So how to overcome the rejection after the media release, that whole situation, right when it happened, like my town went crazy. Like they just thought I was this villain. I mean, I was like the golden child in my area. And when that happened, like I became the villain. And so right away, I started thinking about, coaches in the area or prominent people in the area that had a fall from grace. And what happened was, these people was, always in the community. They just stayed in the house. Like they just didn't go anywhere. You literally thought they moved away. And the first thing I said to my daughter, she said, Dad, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going back out in the public. I'm going to the public because no one knows the truth. The truth is it wasn't even mine. So I had that going for me anyway. But most importantly, I went back into the public. I stayed. Actually, you know what? Here's the crazy part. The day I got arrested, I took my family out to eat. We went to Chili's. People were staring at me. And it was like, I felt like, you know what? I'm going to have to rise above this. So I need to go right in the furnace. Like I need people to say, is this dude crazy? Like he's in the newspaper today and he's at Chili's with his family laughing and talking. And so I felt like I had nothing to hide. And I told myself, I don't know how I'm going to rise above it, but I got to create in my mind how I just can't allow this to hold me back. Like I can't let it change me from doing what I do on a daily basis. And so that's how I approached it. And it was tough. Like there was times I would walk in the store and I would see somebody and they would turn around and go the other way. And it was just like I had to, but I needed that. Like I needed that adversity to start developing me as a man because I knew that I had no choice but to rise above it. So that was it. And the biggest struggle with my brand was around here. For a moment, no one wanted their kids around me, rightfully so. I respected it. And I lost a lot of clients. I lost like 5 schools I was training. And so the branding part was initially from the charges was tough. But here's how I flipped it. When I wrote the letter, I convinced myself that my life was something else because I knew that I had to, in order for me to evolve and come out of this, I had to reinvent myself. So I started focusing on what I could control. I can't control what people say about me. I can't even control how they view me. I just have control on what changes I can make to create the life that I wanted. And that's what I did. I focused on what I had control of, and the rest I just let take care of itself. Let's see. There's so many questions. Sorry. I think my biggest success has been seeing you guys happy. I'm serious. That's probably been my biggest success. Seeing people reclaim their life. Back to working out. Marriages being restored. People falling in love with themselves again. That to me, that's success, man. Money, the fame, all that ain't success to me, man. That's stuff. That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't validate me as a person. What makes me happy is knowing that, the gifts I have is impacting other people and their lives are getting better. I tell my friends all the time, I live by this model. Like you're never truly successful unless it leaves your house and goes into another one. It's someone else's house. Then until that happens, that's not success. So it's got to be a big impact. And then he said, that's 50. My last attempt at asking. Okay. That's beautiful, man. One thing you tell a new client to help find their why. How would you tell a client to help them find their why? That's the easiest thing. Because number one, your why should be your kids. If you have kids, your why could be so many different things. It has to, what's in your heart? Like what moves you? What triggers you? That's your why. Let me see. Mm-hmm. All right. Any more questions before I dig into this? No? Can you guys hear me still? Everybody hear me? Okay. Scroll. So it says scroll up. You missed like 50 questions. All right, here we go. Oh man, I did. All right, hold on one second. I struggle as a coach to find who I'm supposed to be. How do I unlock that inner potential? Oh, that's a good question. And you know what? Hold on to that question because that's going to be part of what I'm going to talk to you guys about. That is a powerful question. I love that. Let me see. Oh, pick up 3 new ones. Oh, the podcast. I have it all set up. Everything's set up. It's just a matter of me just doing it. I did film one for fun and it turned out pretty good. So I have to, I just have to do it. Oh, no. Personal questions aren't hard at all because, that's who I am. I mean, I have to be authentic. There's no other way around it. Those are great questions. Like I love talking about that. If you can connect with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? If I can connect with anybody dead or alive, it would probably be my uncle. It would. I would talk to him. I would really, I'd have to talk to him about this because, he's the reason, I'm even in this situation. I didn't want to be a trainer. I ain't wanting to do with that, man. And he was so adamant about it. And so, yeah, I definitely have a conversation with that guy. Okay, that's good. All right. So, you guys ready? All right. Get your notebooks out. This is gonna be it. This is it. Okay. So over the last couple months, I really took some time to put myself in your situation. And I asked myself, okay, because I read so much on social media, you know, how the struggles of a coach. Like I get it. Building your team and some of you took a leap of faith to become a coach. Some of you maybe don't get the support at home being a coach or in your families, and you kind of feel like you're on an island by yourself. And then some of you are just struggling, as a coach. And so, and I asked myself, if I was a coach, how would I approach the business? I don't really know the business at all. I don't. So that's why, when I asked myself that question, I was really curious of what I came up with. And so, the first thing, when you have so many coaches, it is so easy to compare yourself to other people. It's so easy because, there's competitive boasting, there's, people boast and there's some people who don't boast, but they're just excited. So they're sharing their success and they're sharing things. And what it does is it triggers an insecurity that other people have in them, that they're not at that level or they're not achieving that. And so, that's wrong. Each and every one of you, even as far as like a husband and a wife that's a coach, the husband has his lane, the wife has her lane. It's that simple, because the husband is going to go out into the world and do, go throughout his day. He's going to meet people. He's going to come across people. The wife's going to come across people in her day to day. And so that's called your lane. Like you bump into somebody at the gas station, at the mall, at the store. That's your lane. And the cool thing is this lane never ends because it's every day, all day. It is year after year after year. So the unity of a husband and a wife is coaching, even though they have different lanes, they can still share strategies. You see what I'm saying? And they can empower each other and complement each other because they're already partners anyway. They're already teammates anyway. It's just one may have a philosophy or a strategy that the other one doesn't have. And so it's all about being open-minded, right? And so I started thinking, like, what would I do if I was a coach? The first thing I would do is forget about money. Yeah, I know. It's tough because, like I said, some of you really took a leap of faith to do this. And the first thing I'm going to think about after I forget about money is I'm going to lead my business with my heart. All right? Here's the reason why I say that. You don't want to be a coach that's one-dimensional. I don't want to be a trainer that's one-dimensional. If I had to create a program that was for a certain group of people, guess what, guys? I would quit. Because I don't want my gift being designated for certain people. Because when you designate your gift for certain people, now all of a sudden you have the other masses that don't feel like that they have value or they're not worth being a part of your program. You see what I'm saying? So when we were creating the Shift Shop, I made it clear, like, this has to be for everybody. Even if it's a modification, I don't care. It has to be for everybody, or I don't want to do it, because my gift is to empower, love, and inspire people. There is one thing that each and every one of us have in common. And I'm telling you right now, if you approach your coaching business with this philosophy, each and every one of you are going to blow up something crazy. Here it is. Each and every person in this world with a heartbeat has one thing in common. We even have this in common with animals, with insects. It's our heart. Every human being has a heart. And every human being in this world thrives off of what? Love. Animals thrive off of love. People thrive off of love. Insects, or there wouldn't be other insects. There's some kind of form of love in each and everything that has a heartbeat, correct? So if that's the most common denominator, why isn't the businesses structured around that? Here's another thing. Let's say, for example, there's a woman who's been abused, right? She's in an abusive relationship, and she finally got out, but she's damaged, right? She's been abused. She has no self-esteem. She's broken. Like, she's just broken. And then let's say a cat, a stray cat has been abused and beat up and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna use the cat first. You see the cat meowing in your yard, but the cat is real fearful, right? But the cat is in your yard. So one day you set out milk and try to get the cat to come. The cat don't come. So you just set the milk on the side of the building, the side of your house, and you go back a couple hours later, the cat cautiously came to the milk, drank the milk, disappeared. So so that's a form of love, right? So if you are consistently putting milk out for this cat and maybe adding a little something else, at some point that cat is going to trust you. Because why? Because of the love in your heart, right? To the point where eventually the cat's going to come up to you and you're going to end up petting it. Now you done brought the cat in your home and the cat just sticks to you. But the cat was abused, broken up, busted, abandoned, beat, everything. But the power of love restored that cat to the point that it trusts you. That's no different than a human being, guys. All of us come from different walks of life. You might be pursuing someone in your coaching business that's ready to go right now. They're amped, they're excited. Okay, boom, you sign them up, they're off running. But then what about the people who struggle with insecurity? They have the potential, but you got to hold their hand a little bit. So as a coach, you want to be able to reach each and every level of a person. That right there is what's going to take you to the next level. Some people, you got to hold their hand for 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year before they sign up. But best believe, once that person understands that you just don't want their money, that you really care about them, that you really love them, they may turn around and be one of your best coaches. Because all they need is somebody to believe in them. That's leading with your heart, okay? And so love is what's going to build your team. You take the Shift Shop, give it to Sean. Sean's the creator of Shift Shop. Give it to Autumn. Give it to Joel, Jericho. Give it to Sagi. Give it to anybody. It's just a program. Give me one of their programs. It's just a program. The difference between what makes a program is the person. You see what I'm saying? You guys aren't drawn to Shift Shop. You're drawn to me. You're drawn to the love and support and energy I'm giving you. Shift Shop isn't on this call with you. I'm on this call with you. Shift Shop is just a tool that was used to bring you guys to me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say this. You're your brand. Reinvent yourself. Here's where I think some of you are missing it. You're afraid to dream. You are so afraid to be great. And why is that? Past failures, rejection, betrayal, being mocked, being persecuted. You allow somebody else's insecurities to take over your life. You allow someone else's failures to take over your mind. Because they didn't make it, they convinced you that you're not going to make it. You see what I'm saying? Here's another thing. You guys are really afraid to see what you're capable of. Because we live in a world that is so much media and news, and they're worried about Korea bombing us, and Donald Trump is acting crazy. Our mind is on the wrong thing. The only person in this world that can stop you is you. Donald Trump can't do nothing to you. He doesn't have that kind of power. He's the president of the United States, not the president of your life. You're the author and the creator of your life, man. And so I'm saying all that to say this. If the world is so bad, you already know what happens if you don't do anything. You just continue to get more of what you've already been getting with the same mindset. So you might as well do what I did when I was in that dark place, broke, counting a negative. You're going to lose my family. You're going to lose my gyms. The world hates me. My community hates me. I wrote that letter to myself. I had nothing to lose. I was already rock bottom. And I put in that letter exactly what I wanted. I did that for my sanity's sake. Because I knew if I didn't do it, I don't know how much longer I can face the reality that I was living every day. I had to be crazy. I had to convince myself that there was so much more in me than what I was physically seeing, because I know I'm a gifted person. So I had to create on this paper exactly what I wanted. Here's the reason why. I created the situation that I was in to be in the situation that I was in. So you're going to create regardless, whether you want to or not. So you might as well take a leap of faith and dream big. Why not? What do you have to lose? But you got to protect that dream. You got to protect those goals. What do you really want? Most of us are struggling because you don't really know what you want. You're just living life. You don't ever want to live. You don't ever want life to just, you don't ever want to live life, guys. Because when you live life, that means you're allowing whatever life wants to throw to you to come to you. Some of us, including myself, has dealt with things in my life that I wasn't supposed to deal with. But because I didn't have control over my life or control over the destiny in which I was supposed to be going, I just started taking everybody else's stuff. I was in a world blindly. Doesn't necessarily mean I was doing anything bad, but my mind wasn't focused on my purpose. You see what I'm saying? I look at this page and I'm thinking, you guys are more than coaches. Like, you guys are entrepreneurs. Coaching is just an avenue. Maybe it's the root. But look at a tree. The tree has one root. And then there's branches and there's leaves. There's different directions it's going, but there's one root. And some of you are gifted with so much purpose and so just some of the most unbelievable potential, but you're not understanding that you're the author and the creator of this thing. And it's all based on your imagination. Here's another thing. There's not a person on this call that can't tell me throughout their life there hasn't been a period where you just sitting there and you had this thought and you're like, nah, that can't happen for me. I'm too old, or that didn't happen for my parents or my friend, or nah, how am I going to afford that? Tell me the truth, right? You've gotten that, right? You know what that is? You know that's your purpose sending you vivid pictures of what you're supposed to have, what you're capable of, but then you shoot it down. Your purpose is talking to you all the time. Those good feelings you get, those endorphin feelings you get, those thoughts you get that really charge your spirit, put you in a good mood, that's your purpose talking to you. And it'll even talk to you when you're not even in the right lane. It'll encourage you, come on, I can't do anything else unless you connect with me. You don't have to stay there. Does that make sense to you? Your purpose is talking to you all the time. So my question is this. The keys to your coaching, the level of success you're going to attain is based on how much you believe. That's it. You're getting right now what you believe. You are getting 120% in your coaching business what you believe. You have nothing to lose, guys. At very worst, somebody can call you crazy. But guess what? They're crazy too because they ain't pursuing their dreams. So what do you have to lose? It's got to be a point where you get so, like, you got to put your blinders on. So I'm challenging everybody. You got to write a letter to yourself. Like I'm going to tell you, you know how many people told me I was nuts? Dude, you really wrote a letter to yourself? Yeah, I really did. I did. I said it every day. I read this thing daily. I had no choice. And here's the key. Here's the key to going from where you are to where you want to be. When you write those goals down, the moment you put that on paper, it has a heartbeat right now. Other than that, it's just an inspired thought. The moment you put it on the paper, it is active right now. Here's the best part about it, guys. And I'm telling you right now because it happened for me. When you get those goals on the paper every day, you start meditating, you start seeing yourself doing this stuff. When you see it, you're smiling, you're embracing it. You're connecting with that emotionally. When you connect with that emotionally, that signal is going out into the universe. When it goes out into the universe, it is coming for you. Here's the deal. You put it on a paper. You visualize it. You see it. Now you're getting goosebumps. Now you're getting some form of emotion. It's real. The emotion you feel is it coming towards you. Here's what happened. When you start speaking negatively against yourself, against your dreams and goals, it stops. And when it stops, whatever negative you spoke is coming right beside it. And it's a race. Both of them is a race to your life. It's a race. Which one are we going to get to first? Which one's going to get to you first? I know this is deep, but it's the truth. Think about it. Think about some things you've said. Here's another thing. Who on this call has ever had an argument in their head with somebody that wasn't around and eventually end up getting an argument with them? Straight up. So that's my point. So whatever you connect with emotionally, and here's the deal. Once you put this thing out on paper, depending on what emotions you use determines how quick it comes to you. Listen what I just said. If you have that emotions of being depressed or being down, you are getting ready to bring so much to you to complement that because you're the creator. So whatever it is you say in the universe works for you. Like you're summons in this thing. But in our mind, this thing has control over us. You see what I'm saying? So if you're depressed, you just gave depression a heartbeat. Like you gave it control over you. So guess what happens? So you don't think depression has relatives? Whose relative do you think anxiety is? Depression comes, takes up residence in your life, and you continue to speak on, I'm depressed, I just don't feel this way. You putting signals in the world, now anxiety is coming. You summons anxiety, so now you got depression and anxiety inside you. Now you done made something stronger. All of a sudden now you see somebody successful, and now you jealous and you got hatred. You done summons that. Now you got jealousy, anxiety, and hatred. Oh, you a mess now. And guess what happens? This thing goes inside you, right? And starts shackling your purpose. It goes after your purpose, and it shackles it. It puts it in shackles, right? And now you continue to say these things and you're just inviting more things that's weighing you down. But here's the cool thing. And then you do a workout program where you find somebody that believes in you. All of a sudden you're working out. You start feeling better. You're breaking chains off. The deeper you go, the more you break. The deeper you push, the more you break. Then it's all of a sudden you get to that hardest thing. What was the first thing you summons? I summons depression. Depression is the root of all of this. But you didn't navigate it through fear, you broke it. Anxiety, broke it. Hatred and jealousy, you repented of it, apologized to the person, you didn't broke it. But you got one more hurdle to overcome, and it's depression. And guess what? Why is it a depression weighs so heavily on your mind and your belief system. But that's the root of it, right? The moment you break that, you completely set free. And when you set free, you see life through different lenses. See what I'm saying? And you realize what you're really capable of. So I'm saying all of that to say this. The only way, and I'm telling you the honest goodness truth, this is what I believe. The only way I'm going to be successful, you guys are going to be successful, is if we create. That's it. Is if we create. You got to take 100% ownership right now. Because guess what? Things is changing. Remember how popular infomercials used to be? My program is the first program that's not getting an infomercial. Now, I have an acting background. I love the camera. I know how to work a camera. I think I should be on television. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's my gift. And what's so funny is like when the team told me that I wasn't going to get an infomercial, I said, okay. I sat back and I said to myself, oh, this is awesome. Because I'm not putting my faith in an infomercial. I'm putting my faith in my purpose. I'm going to create something, another lane that's even better than infomercial. So my wheels are spinning, right? My wheels are spinning. But here's the thing. When it was presented to me that I wasn't going to get an infomercial, what if I would have got really down about it? There's no way. Say I get down about it. I get down about it. And all of a sudden, I start saying, well, they got one, or this person got one, or that person got one. Now I'm completely off focus. Completely off focus. My potential has just been suppressed. There's no way I can perform at the level that I need to perform to impact lives if I'm in that kind of bondage. I'm in a custody battle right now. Prior to this, had my daughter 50, 60, 60% of the time. Program comes out of nowhere. Here's the crazy part. A week before this happened, the girl, her mom comes to my house to pick her up. I gave her a bedroom set for her other daughter. A week later, I go to pick my kid up. Unfortunately, we're going to go back to the divorce papers. You know, you get her Wednesday every other weekend. I'm like, I laugh. I'm like, are you joking? What's the problem? She had to do this so she could prove that she has her most of the time. You know why? She wants more child support. Now, I think me being the person I am, I think I've made her life pretty easy. I pay for all my daughter's school clothes, school supplies. Here, get this. She has a 4-year-old daughter. And I'm just trying to explain something to you about how my mindset is when it comes to my purpose versus my pain. See what I'm saying? She has a 4-year-old daughter. The father is absent. Never met his daughter, ever. Never met his daughter. Our daughter was on her insurance because Starbucks has the most incredible benefits, man. They really do. So we agreed that it was best to keep Jace on her insurance. She has another kid, she don't know who the father is on the birth certificate, goes down to child services, sits down with the man, and they told, why are you here? We want to go after Jacinity's father for more child support. Why? XYZ, Beachbody, blah, 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 blah. Well, unfortunately, we can't go after him because the only way we can is if you get assistance through us, through medical. So you would have to take your daughter off your medical, and then we go after him. You know, this girl removed our daughter off the medical, and they came full force at me. So now I'm in this situation. I got this program out. I'm watching people's lives change left and right. People are being impacted. I'm speaking more. I'm running challenge groups. I'm traveling. I'm doing events. I had to ask myself, my daughter, this is painful. What's more important? my pain, or my purpose. I got to walk in love towards this girl because I can't get resentment in my heart. If I get resentment in my heart, I can't be impactful to you. I can't. Yeah, it hurts. It's painful. But I got to walk in love towards her. Like, I got to treat her as if she didn't do anything wrong. And we going to court. You see what I'm saying? I put gas on her car the other day. Just because she didn't have it. How she don't have it, I don't know. But here's the part that's even worse. I'm paying for 2 kids. One of them is mine. Because when she got child services, when they came after me for more money, I'm paying for the household. So I'm paying for another child that's not even my kid, man. I'm paying for this kid's medical. It's not my kid. And her dad is just out there because she wants more money. So now I got to ask myself, is this resentment, is this anger worth my purpose? No. I got to walk in more love. So I walk in more love towards her. We go to court. Last week, her lawyer's like, his financial document says XYZ. We want an immediate increase in his in child support. Judge said, deny. Not deny. So I'm saying all that to say this. Your purpose. Each and every person on this call has one hell of a purpose. The only person that can give birth to this purpose is you. You done been through so much, and you still here. That should tell you the kind of person that you really are. You got a lot of grind in you. But you know what? Even those who grind a lot get tired. We get beat up. We get worn down. We can only take so much. But that's not where the battle is. The battle isn't in what's coming against you. The battle is in you walking in your purpose. Because when you walk in your purpose, you walking in power. When you walk in your purpose, everything that's ever tried to come against you, everything that's ever tried to hold you back, it can't even come near you because your purpose is too powerful. The things that are attacking you, that is holding you back in your business, is attacking you because you don't know who you are. And that thing knows you don't know who you are. But the moment you wake up, write that down on a paper and reclaim who you really are, everything has to bow to that. Because your purpose is full of love. Love breaks everything. Love restores everything. It's full of patience. It's full of peace. It's full of success. Your purpose is untapped, unlimited. You have no weaknesses in your purpose. You have no fear in your purpose. You lack absolutely nothing in your purpose. In the moment you gravitate to your purpose and stay connected to your purpose, you will never have the problems you're facing right now. Coaching, let me explain something to you. I don't go out every day. I don't ask people to buy Shift Shop. I don't ask none of that crap. You know what I focus on? Being infectious, leading with my heart. Because when you're infectious, everywhere you go, people know there's something different about you. They want to know. Because why? We live in a world that everybody is connected to the same thing, our heart. That's your signal. I said on the call the other day, you guys remember the cartoon Thundercats? You remember that? You remember that cartoon? And no matter where they were, this is powerful though. Check it out. No matter where the team members were, when they saw that Thundercat symbol in the sky, they stopped, right? They stopped. And everybody gravitated to that sign. That's because that sign was infectious. They knew when that sign was in the sky, it was time. It was time to handle business. It was time to take down the bad guy. It was time to walk in your power. It was time to walk in your purpose. That's that's so powerful to me. So my question is, where's your Thundercat? Where is it? Here's the crazy thing. It's around you every day, all day, but you've taken it for granted. Your kids, that's your Thundercat. Those of you who have great relationships with your mom and dad, that's your Thundercat. If you got great spouses, that's your Thundercat. All the things you've overcame, that's your Thundercat. Someone says something about weight. Let's talk about weight for a second. You know, people, you know, you look, we're in this world where everyone's always talking about, you know, weight and I'm overweight and I'm this. You know, people, honestly, people that are overweight are the most beautiful people in the world to me. And here's why I say that. I think people who are overweight are the most beautiful people because once they really connect to their purpose and really see who they really are, they have the most influence. They have the most influence. A person that's overweight, when they change their mind, they are unstoppable. I'm talking about unstoppable. When they start losing weight, if a person is overweight, start getting confidence, you better watch out. You better watch out. You know why? Because they didn't see the worst of the worst in themselves. So when they start getting a glimpse of their potential, they don't let that go, man. They don't, I mean, a true person that's overweight, they don't let that go. And they have so much power, so much impact, so much influence. You know why? Because there's so many people that was just like them. And people don't have the courage to take the step just like them. And they don't have the confidence just like them. They don't. I always tell a person that comes up to me that has weight issues, celebrate that. What do you mean? Go in the mirror right now and love the hell out of yourself right now, right where you at. But it's hard sometimes because all I see is this: change your lenses. What you don't see is that you're beautiful right now. The only difference between you right now and 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds later is what? The weight just left. You're still the same person. You're still the same beautiful individual. The only thing you did was just kick off the stuff. Kick off the depression, kick off the anxiety, kick off the fear, kick off the worry, kick off the masking. You just got rid of the stuff. That's not you. That's the things you've allowed to take dominion over your life. The real you is trapped inside of all of that. That's powerful stuff to me, man. I'm going to tell you guys something that I'm getting ready to do. You guys are the first people to know this. I'm starting a challenge group. The beginning of January. I'm going to announce it next week. All obese, overweight people. That's it. That's all I want. You know why? Because, and the only program they're going to do is speed 25, strength 25, speed 35, strength 35. That's it. I want all the obese people. I want everybody that's overweight. And you know what I'm going to do? Because listen, when a person is overweight, the 30, 45 minute, 50 minute, that freaks them out. But if it's 25 minutes, you can do anything for 25. You can walk for 25 minutes, but while they're walking and modifying, I'm working on their spirit. I'm working on their purpose. I'm speaking life into them. That's all. I'm going to speak life into them for 3 weeks. I'm going to speak so much life into them, they're not going to have a choice but to see their beauty. That's it. I'm going to teach them how to love themselves. I just need you guys to understand something, man. And this is the truth. This is the honest goodness truth. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you guys. Your business isn't struggling. You're not struggling. Your business isn't struggling. You just don't know who you are. It's that simple. It's that. You talking to a person that had 5 years of prison hanging over his head for something he didn't do. All I did was write a letter to myself and believed it. If I can resurrect my life, guys, and reinvent my life from that horrible situation to become the person that I've been fortunate enough to become at this point, hey, man, I ain't no different than you. I tie my shoes up the way you tie your shoes up. I ain't no different than you. That's super trainer. That's a title. I'm still a human being. I'm no different than you. I need you guys to celebrate everything you've been through. That's powerful. Celebrate it. Celebrate everything you've been through, all the hardship. Thank it. Thank all of that that's ever happened to you. Thank the state of your business right now, because gratitude is the number one key to success. When you start thanking the negative things and the bad things that's happened to you, it can't come to your life. But you thank it because you realize exactly it took you to get to this point. It took all those things that happened to you for you to have an awakening, find out who you really are, reinvent yourself by taking complete control over your mind, your purpose, your destiny. But you needed that to be here to break you. You needed that to be there to continue to beat you up for this moment today to realize I needed all of that to prepare me for what Chris had to tell me. And only for him to tell me there's nothing wrong. I just don't know who I am. So I allowed these things to come in my life because I didn't know who I was. If each and every one of us right now went out to eat, we're in this restaurant, you order something for your family. The waiter goes back, puts the order in, comes back. You guys want anything to drink? Your order will be ready soon, right? 15 minutes later, comes out with the tray, sits at your table. It's all the stuff that you didn't order. It was actually the table next to you's meal, right? What's the first thing you're going to say to that? Sir, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but this isn't our stuff. This is somebody else's. You would say that, right? So if it's so easy for you to tell somebody, this isn't our meals, this is somebody else's, why is it so hard for you to accept all the negative and all the bad and all the depressing and distressing and limited believing thoughts? Why do you accept that? It's really just that simple. Sorry, you stopped at the wrong mind, it's the wrong brain. You're supposed to be somewhere else. I'm not accepting that. It's really that simple. But what we do is you think about it, you connect with it emotionally, and now you done allowed it into your soul. We get thousands and thousands of thoughts a day, and not all of them are good. But you got to be able to count every thought that comes through. Like, whoa, wait a minute, wrong person, sorry. It's just that simple. It's a confession. But we don't confess it. We let it permeate our mind. We think about it. We connect with it emotionally. Now then took up resonance. Speak to it. Sorry, wrong person. It's just that simple. What do you want? Whatever it is, you got to convince yourself that you have it right now. 2 more things and I'll open back up. If I'm a coach and I got on this list what my team looks like, I'm a top coach, whatever it may be, whatever the goals are, 4, 6, 8, 20-star diamond, whatever y'all call it. This is the goal you want right now as a coach. The moment I put this on the paper, I'm going to perform my day-to-day duties as if I'm already that coach. That means if it's investing in your team, whatever duties you have being that top coach, you got to do it right now. Here's why. The moment you start doing your day-to-day like a top coach, you're going to become a top coach. Because you know why? That's your identity. And everything that's in your life will summons to that identity. If you're a top coach, do you complain? If you're a top coach, do you skip meals? Do you skip workouts? If you're a top coach, I double dog dare one of you guys to send somebody in your downline $50 for groceries because you know they're struggling. Because that's what a top coach would do. You got to practice that right now. You can't wait until someone else qualifies in your downline so you can get the phone call that you grab. No. You got to create that. If you want that person, here's the coolest thing about it. Whatever level coach you want to be, this is how deep this is. Whatever level coach you want to be, if you start doing the day-to-day operations as that coach, your team is going to prosper just because of the energy you have, because you're the leader. Wherever the head go, the body got to follow it. So you're the head. You're the head. Wherever the head goes, the body follows. I dare everybody to do this. What happened? You do this, didn't your body just tip? If you stay here right now and just go like that, everybody tipping. But it's so simple. Wherever the head goes, the body has to follow. So if you're the head and you're a top coach, you got control over all that. You got control over your team in a way that they don't even have an idea. It's subliminal. It's spiritual. And if somebody in your group, get this, if somebody on your team isn't performing at the level they should and really not supposed to be a part of the team, they'll be removed and a new one will come. All because your mindset. Does that make sense to you? All right. See where we at here. 10:15. Got 20 more minutes. 1 second. This isn't hard. This is very easy. The hardest thing you ever going to experience in your life is not knowing who you are. Man, there's so many hooks, jabs, and uppercuts I've given myself because I didn't know who I was. Straight up. No one has control over you. They only have control over what you allow them to have control over. You can be anything you want to be. You can create wherever you want. There's no limitations on you guys. You just got to know who you are. All right. Andrea, you said it takes time. Okay, hold on 1 second. That's beautiful. So listen, sweetheart, I'm just going to explain something to you in a way that I want you to hear me. So you just sent a message saying it takes time. So you just made that confession. It takes time. So guess what happens? It's going to continue to take its time to get there. See how simple see how sneaky that is? Even though that was an honest statement of her saying, you know what, it takes time, but I can get there. You don't even want to say that. How's it going to take time if you're already walking in it now? But you see how sneaky that is? Just that simple. It can't take time if I just told you that you got to be it right now. The time is now. Does that make sense? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be really, and I'm just, sweetheart, I'm not coming down on you. I'm just trying to express to you that you don't even want to say it takes time, because guess what? It's going to take its time to get there. It's going to take its time to show up. Any questions? Let's see here. Okay, that's a question. Anybody have any questions? 2018 is the year of the promise, man. I woke up one day, I've been saying it. I can't get it out of my mind. And the promise is everything that's connected to your birthright, you getting ready to have it. You're going to have it. And the only reason why you're going to have it is because you're going to create it, because you're going to know who you are. Anybody has any other questions?
They want to know what workout we're doing.
You know what? I have no idea. I never know. I just don't, man. I just know it's going to be good. I don't even know. I have no idea. And I really don't know. Downing University is a Facebook group that I created. It's like 12 weeks of just workouts. There's so much personal development in there. We all read the book Grit, and there's a lot of interaction in there. How do you find out who you are? What questions can you ask yourself to find out who you are? Beautiful question. So so this is good. You said, how do you find out who you are? What questions can you ask yourself to find out who you are? What do you want? That's who you are. It's that simple. What do you want? That's who you are. Yep. What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? That's who you are. Yeah, yep. You can still get in the university. Just send a request, and then I can have you added in there. Does this make sense to you guys, or did I give everybody a headache? Is everybody's head like this, like so compressed, like, oh my gosh, my head is just so full? But you understand what I'm saying, though? Like, you're gonna create something regardless. You might as well create what you want. It's really that simple. One of the biggest things that I'll tell you guys, when you start getting into meditating and spending that alone time, and the spouses take a moment and in quiet time, they just hug each other and embrace each other and things like that, and you get emotional, and like that emotional, like when you get really emotional in that quiet time, that's you. It's like, when they say in the Bible, like, the kid leaves, and when he comes back, there's that union with the mother or the prodigal son, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing with your purpose. Like, when you get emotional in your quiet time, like, you just reconnected with your purpose. Like, it misses you. Like, that's a celebratory moment. Like, there's grieving in there because it was hurt. Like, your purpose was hurt because you was away from it. You disconnected from it. And so embrace that moment. Like, take that time, take it in. There's nothing in the world, guys, that's more powerful than stepping in your purpose and really seeing who you really are. That's just like you miss yourself. You love yourself. It's like it's real. But we're taught that if you love yourself, you concede it or there's something wrong with you. No, man. You got to love yourself. Like, you have to. There's a healthy love and there's a crazy love. You know which one is the right one. Absolutely. Coaches can join that New Year group. All right. If you had to pick one word to define your 2018, what would it be? One word? Wow, that's a good one. If I had to, oh, you got me, Holly. If I had to choose one word to define my, that was good. Woo! One word. Okay. I would have to say destiny. Yeah, I'd have to say destiny. Like, it was my destiny. If I could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why? I don't need any. I already have it. It's love. That's the biggest superpower I can create. I can have anything I want with that. I don't want to fly because, I just love. You got anything, Sean? So going into Super Saturday, you guys got some work to do between now and then. Like, I'm expecting to see everybody different. Like, really, I'm expecting to see everybody different.
I think Edmonton is fired up already after this call, Chris. I think they're all pumped. They're all taking everything that you just laid out. I think what they should do after this call, guys, you guys, for those of you who've taken a bunch of notes, you know what? Let's blow up that Edmonton group. We'll start a post and just add stuff that you've learned from this call, because really it's all about shifting into 2018. And Chris is just getting started. You guys saw it. He brought the heat, man. Like, he's just getting started. But I know your guys' mind is just turning. I know some stuff has hit home for you guys, and now you're just taking it in, and you'll let it come in, and then you're just gonna find the magic. Chris, brother, you hit some stuff on the head, man. That even for someone that's been in the business for 4 years, I've hit roadblocks. So I'm like these coaches as well. Like, there's times that you struggle, and there's some truth bombs that you just dropped in there that make us just go, I knew that already, but I wasn't listening to myself. So I want to say thanks, man. I want to say thanks for you for dropping in and doing those things. I know we are looking to grab some more VIP people. I think the next question is, are we going to do another one of these Zoom calls before the new year comes?
Yeah, we have to. Like, we have to. I want to give you guys a couple weeks to, like, really process this. And then you guys let me know. Let's do it, like, you know, probably a week before I come. Like, I really want you to take some time with this. Like, this is beautiful. I see it. Like everybody, yeah, this is awesome. So take some time with it, and let's do it again, you know, right before I come.
Fantastic. Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Everybody good? You have any other questions?
I have a question. Did you get your winter coat yet?
Man, you know I did not own a winter coat. This is my winter coat right here. That's it.
We'll have it for you in a winter coat and mitts when you arrive. Don't worry.
Yeah. So make sure wherever my hotel is at, that's where we're eating, because I ain't coming out. Nah,
we're going to make you – hey,
I'm celebrating, man.
You make us get uncomfortable. You make us get uncomfortable. We're going to get you a little uncomfortable.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, guys. I'm taking off. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. And, you know, I'm excited to come see you. Like, I'm pumped, man. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a big year. Everybody. I'm making sure of it. We all gonna have a great 2018. The struggle's over. It's over. It's done. We ain't living like that. We gonna focus on who we are and our purpose, and we gonna thrive together. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys.
Okay, so that's it, kids. He has left the building. He dropped the mic. Boom. So do a couple of things. We are going to launch a few more VIPs for you guys. We will lock down those details on Thursday when we have our meeting to let you know how many we are going to unlock. Let the coaches know. Let your coaches know. Let Edmonton, let Canada, if you're from Calgary, let everybody know what this call did for you today. Okay, because we want to get more people on the next call. And again, it's not just about buying a VIP ticket. It's just the people that are buying the VIP tickets, you can tell they're investing in themselves, and they're investing in Chris, and you're investing in your team. So this is why we did the VIP call. And I think every one of you guys took a little something away from this today. So please tag your coaches and share it with them. And just like Chris said, just show the love. You guys have a fantastic night. I will let you know when the next one is. We'll work it out with Chris in the next little while. Again, until then, fantastic. Much love. Thanks, guys.